I mean, Métis culture is complicated in that there are those that are on the land and that live in the settlements, and that probably practice a more traditional way of life. But there are also Métis next to you in the office. They're your neighbors. The Métis Nation of Alberta speaks that the Métis are hiding in plain sight. Hopefully I could be helpful in promoting the Métis identity in southern Alberta, southern Alberta as well as Alberta writ large, and in Calgary, and work the Métis Nation of Alberta to make it well known that your neighbor might be a Métis hiding in plain sight, and that we must celebrate not only the Blackfoot heritage in southern Alberta, but also the role of the Métis as well in the settlement of Alberta and in our history.
I don't think a lot of people really understand what reconciliation is to this point. I've been involved with Truth and Reconciliation since the hearings we were here in Calgary. And sometimes when I see government, or I sit with government, they don't understand what reconciliation is. When I sit with industry, they don't understand it. But when we talk about the cultural institutions, it's not having that mindset where the Métis need to be hidden all the time. And be comfortable in starting to tell the story of the original inhabitants here too. Because there's two. We have a First Nations inhabitant, we have our Blackfoot that were here, and then of course our Treaty 7, but we also have the Métis layer. And that stories, so all those stories, those rich stories need to start to be developed. We know that as a Métis Nation, as we progress, we want to make sure that our people who are self-identifying as Métis have a place, they have a village, it's here. They have relatives around them. And the more that we're able to tell their stories, we're going to bring them in. This is about who you are as a people and what your ancestors would want.
It's called the Truth and Reconciliation Commission for a reason, and a lot of the times people skip over the truth part. And before we even start focusing and looking at reconciliation, we need to be able to talk about the truth. And I think that also feeds into the issue, is that people are like, okay, we know what happened and don't want to really deal with it. And so now let's figure out solutions without giving communities the real time, and also not giving the communities resources to be able to kind of come forward and talk about what their issues are. And if you actually want to be committed to truth and reconciliation, you have to be willing to listen and have hard conversations.